cross-legged, easy posture. So sitting on your mat. So I've always got my infamous block, okay? So just have a quick look around if you haven't done the class before, just to see whether you've got either a rolled up blanket or a towel, just something that you can be sitting on that will bring your knees a little bit lower than your hips, okay? And we need that lovely long spine, crown of the head up towards the ceiling, and those sit bones rooted either onto your block, your blanket, your towel, or whatever you've actually got around you. Okay, and we're going to be just starting today. We're going to take the left hand over to the heart center and then just placing the right hand on top. So just left hand, you come into the middle of the chest and move it towards the left over the heart center, and then place the right hand on top. We're going to close the eyes and just bring ourselves now into the present moment, just by gently connecting now with the breath. Just becoming aware of the cool air gently coming in, either through the nose or through the mouth. And as we exhale, just become aware of the warmth of that breath. So noticing just the cool air gently coming in, either through the nose or through the mouth. And exhale, just letting go. Becoming aware of any thoughts that are coming into the mind. Just acknowledge those thoughts, let them go. And bring that focus gently and softly back to the breath. Moving down deep into the belly. Exhale, just become aware of the breath. Now as we exhale, notice the journey the breath takes from the navel all the way to the throat. And sometimes it's really hard to try and tame that monkey mind. Just allowing yourself this little bit of time just to stop, bring the focus back to yourself as we focus on the breath coming into the body. And the body simply receiving that breath. And at this time when our whole world is being upside down, turned upside down, inside out, back to front. Hopefully by now we should be getting ourselves into some sort of routine and just spending a little bit of time every day just to focus on yourself. Just to bring yourself into the present moment. And we can do this just by spending a couple of minutes just connecting to the breath coming into the body and the body receiving that breath. So we start to release now the hinges of the jaw. And then just notice how you're feeling through the shoulders. Notice any tension perhaps into the belly, the upper abdomen. could be that you're feeling a little bit tight into the lower back. You're going to start to breathe now into any points of tension. And as we exhale, just allow that tension just to melt away. Just let it go. So breathing down deep into any points of tension. Exhale, allow that tension just to melt away. Just let it go. Let's take 2 or 3 more rounds now of our breath into any points of tension. Exhale, let it go. And on that next exhalation, making that the last one, breathing into any points of tension, we're going to bring the hands down onto those knees. Dropping the chin in towards the chest now. So we get that little bit of a length going through into the back of the neck and into the shoulders. Could even feel a bit of a stretch now into those shoulder blades. Chin as far in towards the chest as you can. Take a couple of real releasing breaths, just letting go. We're going to take the chin now over towards that right shoulder. So it's chin over towards the shoulder. Towards that right shoulder, then we come back to center, and then we take the chin over towards that left shoulder. So chin towards the left shoulder. Keeping the eyes closed, we're just taking the head now from side to side. Chin in towards the chest, and now we take the chin over towards that right shoulder. And then we can gently drop the chin down towards the chest. So we're just taking the head gently side to side. Keeping the eyes closed, just in case you become dizzy. Coming back to center now, just releasing any tension through the neck and into the shoulders, and then taking the chin over towards that right shoulder. And then gently coming back to center. Release the shoulders down the back of the body. And then we're going to flutter the eyes open, looking down towards the ground. Big distance between shoulders and ears. And then as we inhale, bringing the head to center, let's gently take the chin up towards the ceiling. So we open through the throat, through that heart center, really opening through the chest. And then as we inhale, bringing the head back to center. Let's raise both arms overhead now, reaching up towards the sky as far as you can. Okay, really lovely stretch. Okay, so let's reach up with that left arm up towards the ceiling. Reach up as far as we can. Reaching through those ribs, come back to center, and we're reaching up with that right arm now, opening all those intercostal muscles in between the ribs, reach up. And then we come back to center, reach up with that left arm, really opening through those intercostal muscles, just start to create some space. And then come back to center, reach up with that right arm up towards the ceiling, far as we can. One more time on each side, reaching up with that left arm up towards the ceiling, keeping both arms up towards the ceiling, back to center, reaching up. Last time, reaching that right arm up towards the ceiling. Lovely stretch. And then we're going to reach that right arm up, left arm up towards the ceiling. Take the left hand to the outside of that right thigh now. Right hand either onto the sacrum, the lower back, or the space behind you. Crown of the head up towards the ceiling, gently taking the eye over shoulder. So we get that little stretch now through your thoracic spine in between your shoulder blades. Inhale. And as we exhale, let's reach both arms back overhead. Come back to center, reaching both arms. Let's take that right hand now to the outside of the left thigh. Left hand either onto the sacrum, the lower back, or the space behind you. Now pull the crown of the head up towards the ceiling and gently taking eye over shoulder. Just warming that thoracic spine in between the shoulder blades. Inhale, work with the breath. Exhale, a little bit deeper, dropping the chin towards the chest. And then as we inhale again, let's reach those arms back overhead, reach up, and we're going to fold forward. So reaching those arms forwards. Okay, sit bones rooted into the ground. So we're not rolling up onto those knees or shins. If you're on a block or onto your blanket, that's fine. But just make sure you don't roll up onto those knees or shins. So extending those arms towards the end of your mat. Inhale, work with that breath. So inhale into that space in between the shoulder blades, and exhale, go a little bit deeper, forehead facing the ground. And you might want to take a little rock side to side, just starting to release tension through those hips, thighs. Nice soft inhalation again, and as you exhale, let's slide those hands back up. Really good. Okay, so we're going to take away any blocks or bricks that we're sitting on now. So we've got the sit bones rooted down into the ground. Let's take some circles. Okay, we're going to take circular movements now from these hips. So come forwards, okay, and then bringing those sit bones down into the ground. Scoop the belly when we go back. So inhale forwards, and then exhale back. Think of the movement from the hips rather than through the shoulders. So inhale forwards, moving with those hips. Exhale back. Inhale, come forwards. Exhale, gently coming back. So inhale forwards, really getting a lovely stretch through these legs as well. Lower back as we come forwards. Exhale back. Then we're going to go in the opposite direction. So usually towards the left. Inhale forwards. Exhale back. So inhale forwards, synchronizing the movement from with your breath. So inhale forwards. Exhale back. Let's take this 2 more times. Forwards and then back. Inhale, come forwards over those knees, and then exhale back, and then coming into a seated position. Let's fold forward now. So to fold forward, take the hands out in front, uncrossing those legs. Now make sure you're on your mat. So we've got the knees hip distance apart. So to make sure they're hip distance, make 2 little fists with the hands, and then take those fists in between the knees. We place the hands down onto the floor, middle fingers to the top of the mat, and just looking towards the end of your mat. Okay, flat back extension now. Draw the front body towards the back of the body, so we've got that lovely engagement through the whole of the core. Exhale, chin onto chest. Raise that spine up towards the ceiling. Tuck in the tailbone under. Now we're going to send the tailbone back towards the heels into that extended child's pose. Then look up towards the end of your mat. We're going to gently come through those arms, go into that cow stretch. Okay, so in your own time, remembering to exhale into the cat arch, tailbone towards the heels. Looking towards the end of your mat, come through those arms and then into that cow stretch. Exhale, chin back onto the chest, raise that spine. Scoop the belly, send the tailbone to the heels. Take it in your own time. Look up to the end of your mat. And then slowly, okay, coming through, inhaling into the cow stretch. Exhale, let's flow through these cats and cows. Tailbone to the heels. We then look up to the end of your mat and then come through, inhaling into that cow stretch. Let's take 3 more in your own time. So you might want to take some circles when we go into your cow stretch. Just waking up the body. Exhale into that space in between the shoulder blades. Tailbone to the heels as we look up. Come through into that cow stretch. Okay, and then one more time. Tailbone up, tuck in the tailbone. Tailbone to heels. Looking up towards the end of your mat, coming through into that cow stretch, and then coming into a neutral spine. So just draw the front body towards the back of the body, crown of the head away from the tailbone. Okay, now we're going to bring the right foot to the outside. So pick up the knee, bring the knee in towards the chest first, and then send that right leg away. So push that right heel to the back of the mat. 2 more times, bring the knee in towards the chest, tuck the chin under, nose to the knee, and then push that right heel away. 1 more time, draw that inner navel in, nose towards the knee, tuck in the chin under, and then pushing that right heel away, so that lovely flat back extension. We're then going to bring that right foot round, take it to the outside of that right foot. Take it slowly. Okay, and then we're just going to heel toe that front foot to the middle of your mat. Take the right hand now to the outside of the right foot. Okay, and we're going to bring ourselves up into that low lunge. Up, so hands onto the front of the hips. Tuck the tailbone slightly so we get a really good stretch into that hip flexor. Allow the shoulders to be heavy. It's a really small movement, so we usually come up here. So by sitting upright, tucking the tailbone, really good stretch into that hip flexor. Okay, and then we're going to lean forward, hands to the outsides of that front foot, tuck toes under. Okay, we're going to take that back foot away, the back knee, not the foot, the knee away. Then hop that back foot in slightly, and we're going to have a gentle rock backwards and forwards. So try and squeeze your inner thighs inwards towards each other. That sounds a bit funny, okay, but if you think of your upper thighs squeezed in towards each other, get a little bit more of a stretch through, okay, into your lower back and into your hamstrings. So just gently rocking backwards and forwards, let the weight of the head be heavy, look in between the knees. Okay, stepping that left foot back again, keep the toes tucked under, drop the knee down. And we're simply going to sit back onto that left heel, straightening your right leg. Now this is like Marmite, okay? You either love it or you hate it. So toes back towards the shins. You get a lovely stretch for your Achilles, your calf, into the back of the thigh. But of the back foot, you get a really good stretch opening out through the fascia as well. Inhale, and then as we exhale, come forward again. Bring both hands to the inside of that right foot. Okay, we can untuck the toes. Now, take the right foot to the outer side of the mat. So just heel toe the right foot towards the outer side. Now we're going to bring the right foot, go onto the outside blade of that foot. So as we go onto the outside, take your hands, just push that knee away slightly, and we bring the palms of the hands onto the floor. You might want to take the back knee away a little bit. Okay, we're going into lizard pose. So we're really stretching out through that right hip, pushing that right hip away. Might only go a little way, that's fine. So it's opening out through that left hip. Breathe, create length from the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Now let's start to heel toe that front foot now towards the middle of your mat. Tuck the toes under, just walk that back knee in. Now we're going to take a big journey with that leg coming forwards and towards the back of your mat. Back onto 4-point kneeling now. Pull the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Draw that inner navel in so we get that lovely engagement. Okay, we're then going to bring that, push the left heel away. So we do that same little flow on the other side. Push the left heel away. Draw that inner navel in, nose towards the knee. So just bring your nose in, tuck the chin in. Make sure that left foot doesn't go onto the ground, and then we push that left heel away. So into that lovely straight leg. Okay, bringing that left knee in, nose to the knee. And then pushing left heel to the back of the mat. Try and keep that leg off of the ground, and then nose, rounding, nose to the knee. And then pushing that left heel away. Now we're going to bring the left foot to the outside of the left hand, and just heel toe the front foot to the middle of your mat. And we're going to frame that foot with the hands. Okay, so both hands to the outsides of that foot. Lean forward, tuck the toes under, take that back leg away. Okay, back knee off of the ground. And we're going to hop that back foot in slightly and then gently rock backwards and forwards. And just as we did on the other side, squeeze those inner thighs in towards each other. So we get that lovely long, okay, length through the upper back, lower back, and then stretching out through these legs as well. Let the head be heavy, look in between the knees. And work with that breath. So we get a really good stretch then going into the left hamstrings, into the calves. Okay, let's step that right foot back a little bit further, come up onto the balls of the feet, and we drop that knee down. Okay, from here, we walk the hands back, and we sit onto that back heel, straightening your left leg now. So listen to your body, stretching out through the Achilles, through the calf, into the back of that left thigh, but getting a really good stretch into the sole of that right foot as well, just drawing those toes back. Looking good. Okay, then let's come forwards, walk those hands, bring the hands to the inside of that left foot, heel toe that left foot towards the outer side of your mat. Okay, and then we're just going to take that knee out, take that left knee towards the outside. So it's opening through that hip. Okay, coming into lizard. Palms of the hands onto the floor. We can keep the toes tucked under of the back foot or plug the toes into the ground. So it's really opening through that left hip. You might not go as far as you did the other side, but it's a real opening out through that hip. That's it. And then bringing the hands to the inside. Heel toe that front foot now to the middle of your mat. And we can pick up that foot, take that left leg away, back onto 4-point kneeling. So really working out through these legs. Crown of the head away from a tailbone. Draw the front body towards the back of the body. So creating that length. Let's lean forward. Tuck both toes under. All those toes on both feet. I meant not both toes. The whole of the feet. Tuck the toes tucking forwards. Tuck the chin, look towards the knees. Big distance between the shoulders and the ears. Okay, so press the pad to the fingers down into the ground, look into the knees. Take that next breath into the space in between the shoulder blades and make sure you've got all 10 toes pressing forwards. Let's come forwards now. So come forwards over the arms. Okay, make sure the shoulders are not too far forwards, too much pressure on those wrists. Now we're going to start to hover the knees off of the ground and look towards the end of your mat. Push the weight into those heels, into the back of the mat. And then we're going to gently roll ourselves up into down face dog. We're not going to be here for too long, so press the pad to the fingers, palms of the hands into the ground. Line the head up with the arms, tuck the chin, look at the knees. And we're going to gently take those heels to the ground, one at a time. So bringing the left knee into the chest, straightening the right leg, and then the right knee into the chest, straighten the left. So just taking these dogs for a walk, okay, heels down to the ground, one at a time, create that length. Through those ankles, calves, into your hamstrings, all the way up into your bums, into those glutes. Inhale, let's come up high onto tiptoes, bend the knees and look to the hands. We're going to bring that right foot in between the hands. Okay, and then we're going to straighten out through the legs, and we're going to hop the left foot in to join the right in between the hands. Again, make sure the feet are about hip distance apart. So you can make those little fists. We'll bring those fists in between the feet and gently rock, side to side. Feel the weight of the head, shoulders, arms, pull the body to the ground, looking in between those knees. Now remember, if you start to hug the elbows, it's going to put a little bit more pressure on that lower back. So just listen to your body and work with the breath. So gentle rocking side to side, looking in between the knees. And then we bring the body to stillness. Let go of the elbows, fingertips just in front of the feet. Let's roll ourselves up now. So weight into the balls of the feet, soften those knees. Come up slowly. Tuck the tailbone under. Start to stack the vertebrae on top of each other. Bring your shoulders, and then we bring the head up last. So coming up slowly, the slower, the better. Stacking the vertebrae, shoulders away from the ears. So take that step up towards the top of your mat if you're not there already. Bring the big toes together, heels together, squeeze the knees in, hands into prayer position at the heart center. Just tucking the chin slightly, look towards the fingers. Take a breath. Breath down into the belly. So we balloon the belly now on the inhalation. Exhale, belly back to spine. Notice the breath, lower ribs, upper chest, collarbones back into the throat. Long, deep breath, breathing down into the belly. Exhale, belly back to spine. Notice the breath just into those lower ribs, into the upper chest, collarbones, and then back into the throat. Standing in a tall mountain pose. Okay, as we inhale now, flutter the eyes open if we've closed the eyes. Tuck the chin, look just towards the fingertips. And as we inhale, raise the arms overhead, look at the thumbs. Drop your shoulders slightly and come into that baby back bend. So really open through the chest. through the heart center without flaring those ribs. So draw the ribs in towards each other. Inhale, then back to center. And as you exhale, let's swan dive forwards, arms wide, either side of the feet. Tuck the chin and look towards the knees. So back into your forward fold. So just get your chest and the thighs, tailbone up towards the ceiling. You're going to come into a flat back extension. So yogi's choice. Either take the hands up onto those thighs, elbows in towards the body, create length. So tucking the elbows in, lovely length from the crown of the head towards the tailbone. Or we can take the hands onto the shins, straighten the arms, straighten the legs, don't lock. Okay, the knees or the elbows. So create that length, or if you want more of a challenge, palms facing and we simply raise the head. Either way, we get that lovely flat back extension. Inhale, now as you exhale, hands either side of the feet, tuck the chin. We're going to step back wide as you can with the right foot. Drop that right knee down towards the ground. Okay, taking the right hand to the inside of that left foot, and we're going to open out that left arm all the way up towards the ceiling. Go a little bit deeper into that hip flexor. Bring the weight into that front foot, and just simply extending that left arm towards the ceiling. So inhale to reach. Exhale, bringing that left hand to the outside of the left foot. Heel toe that foot towards the middle of your mat. Tuck the toes under of the back foot. We're going to send the left foot to join the right behind. So middle fingers to the top of the mat. Okay, pushing the heels away. You can drop the knees down. We're into a full plank position. Dropping the knees is our variation. Now we're going to come down with control. Elbows in towards the body. Let's come down onto tummies. Take all that stuff away. So elbows, forearms, palms of the hands rooted into the ground, open through the chest. Deep stretch down the front of the body. So regulars in class, if you want to go straight into cobra or into up face dog onto the toenails, okay, that's absolutely fine. So just notice how that feels. Everybody else, I'm going to stay in a low version today, so open through that chest. Inhale, exhale, draw those lower ribs in. So we really push the hips down into the ground, and that's if you're in cobra or if you're into up face dog or up face dog onto the toes. Okay, and then we're going to take the hands underneath, tuck toes under. We can, if you're in cobra or down face or up face dog, you can simply turn the toes and go into our down face dog. Or you can stay with me, come into down face puppy, and then come forwards and take those knees away. Roll yourself up into down face dog. So press the pads of the fingers, palms of the hands down into the ground. Draw those lower ribs in now. Send the tailbone up towards the ceiling. And we can tuck the chin, look at the knees. Okay, let's go into three-legged dog. Take that right leg all the way up towards the ceiling. So just straighten the right leg. And then we're going to bring that right foot down. Same with the left. Left heel, left leg up towards the ceiling. Take the right heel to the ground. And then we're going to bring that left foot down. Heels to the ground. Gently taking that dog for a walk. And then we're going to come up high onto tiptoes, bend the knees, look to hands. This time we're bringing that left foot in between. Okay, and then straighten out through the legs. Gently rock backwards and forwards. And then we're going to hop that right foot in to join the left. Make sure the feet are about hip distance apart. Let's have that gentle rock side to side. Just hanging like a rag doll. Fingertips to the ground, gently rocking. Oh, just let go. And then bringing the body to stillness, weight into the balls of the feet, soften those knees. Come up slowly, tuck that tailbone under. We start to then stack the vertebrae on top of each other's shoulders, and then we come up last, bringing the head up last. Wonderful. Okay, we'll do one more of those just on the other side. So we come up really slowly. So if you're recoiling out of being, okay, into your forward fold slowly. So up towards the top of your mat. Big toes, heels together, squeeze those knees in. Allow the shoulders to be really heavy. Hands into prayer position, tuck the chin, look at the fingertips. Now as we inhale, raise the arms overhead, look at the thumbs. Drop your shoulders and come back into that baby back bend. So we open through the chest, through the heart center. Now inhale back to center, and as you exhale, swan dive forwards, arms wide, and just take the hands in front of the feet, looking in between the knees. Okay, so yogi's choice now, either with the hands up onto the thighs, elbows in, create that length, or we can take the hands onto the shins. Okay, try not to lock out the elbows or the knees, little micro bends in both. Or we take the hands just in front of the feet and raise the head. Either way, we get that lovely flat back extension. This is more of a challenge with the palms facing. Inhale, create length through the spine. Exhale, crown of the head down, tuck the chin. We're going to step back with the left foot this time. Drop that left knees, toe shins to the ground. We're going to take the left hand to the inside of the right foot and open out through that right arm all the way to the ceiling. Can you bring the weight into the front toes? Give yourself a bit more of a stretch into that hip flexor of the left leg. So inhale, reach that right arm to the ceiling. And then exhale, bringing that hand to the outside of the right foot. Heel toe that foot to the middle of your mat. Tuck the toes under of the left foot. And then we send that right foot to join the left behind. Middle fingers to the top of the mat, back into your plank position. And remember, knees, toes, shins to the ground. Let's come down with control. Elbows in towards the body, coming down onto tummy. So today I'm staying low. Elbows, forearms, palms of the hands into the ground. But you can go into cobra up onto the front of the thighs or onto those toenails. So just see what feels right for you today. Really open through the chest. Nice soft inhalation. Exhale, draw those lower ribs in. So we're switching on with that core. If you're in cobra or up face dog onto the toes or the thighs, switch the toes over and go into down face dog. Otherwise, if you're with me, hands under the shoulders, tuck toes under, tailbone towards the heel, just walk those hands in. Look at the knees. And then we're going to roll up, so come forwards, tuck the chin, and we're going to take the knees away and roll ourselves. We should all now be in down face dog. Press the pad to the fingers, palms of the hands into the ground. Gently take those heels to the ground, one at a time. Just taking that little dog for a walk. I don't know why I say little dog, I say it every time, but taking that dog for a walk. Heels to the ground, tucking the chin, look at the knees. Inhale. Exhale, tailbone up towards the ceiling, tucking the chin. Now we're going to come up high onto your tiptoes. Spread those toes. Okay, drop the knees, bend the knees, look to the hands. We're going to bring that right foot in between the hands and then straighten the legs. And we're going to hop that left foot in to join the right. Let the weight of the head, shoulders, arms simply pull the upper body to the ground, looking in between the knees. Fingertips just in front of the toes, just hang out like a ragdoll. Chin onto chest, looking in between those knees. Just let go. And then we're going to bring the body to stillness, weight into the balls of the feet. This time we're going to reverse the swan stretch. We take the arms wide out to the sides and into prayer position over the head. Inhale to thumbs. Exhale, bringing the hands down into your heart center, standing at the top of your mat. Okay, let's come into some balances. So, right foot into the mat. We're going to take that left foot out 45 degrees. Okay, so imagine that's the trunk of your tree. We're going to go into our tree pose. So we're going to slide that left foot in, hands into prayer position and hands in towards the heart center. So bring the heel in. That's it. Heel towards the ankle, toes onto the floor. Bring the calf. Make sure we don't lock out the knee. Little micro bend to the knee. So knees out to the side. Don't bring the knee out in front. Open out through that hip. And then gently give it a little hand. See whether you can bring that heel in towards the inner thigh. Only if that feels right for you. Now if it keeps sliding down, yep, it's not working this morning today. Heel towards that calf. Avoid putting the heel on the knee. Once you've got your balance, let's raise the arms up and we're going straight into a V shape. So take the arms wide, release the shoulders. That's it, looking good. And then we're going to bring the palms of the hands together and then draw that energy down into your heart center. Really good. Okay, let's do the same on the other side. So we're going to bring that left foot onto the mat. Spread the toes, take the right foot out 45 degrees, hands into prayer position at the heart center. Again, bring that right foot in. Balls of the feet onto the floor, heel to the ankle. And then bring that heel towards the calf. Allow that knee to go out to the side. And then see if you can give it a hand. Bring the heel towards the inner thigh, only if that feels right. And if it keeps sliding down, keep it below the knee. Yeah, it's not working today. Either side. Now we're going to raise the arms up. Raise them up. Take the arms out into a V shape. So take the arms wide. Release the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. Try and squeeze the shoulder blades down the back of the body. Now let's bring the palms of the hands together and draw that energy down into your heart center. Wonderful. And bring that foot down onto the floor. Okay, we're going to go into a crane pose now. So crane, right, left foot into the mat. Come up. Point the toes down, knee away from that center line. We've got the fingertips down onto the ground. Crane pose. And then we're going to bring that movement in. Push that foot away. Take the arms up towards the ceiling. Diving crane. Okay. Look down. Arms up to the ceiling. Leg up. And then bringing ourselves back up. So back up. Fingertips facing the ground. Knee away from the center line. Toes to the ground. And then we're going to push away. So push away. Arms up to the ceiling. Look straight down. And then one more time, bring yourself back up. Crane pose, so arms are wide, fingertips to the ground, knee away from the center line, point toes. One more time, pushing back. It's really hard when you're bringing movement in as well. And then gently bringing yourself back up. Fingertips to the ground, bring that knee up. Lovely, bring that foot down. Okay. We do the same on the other side. It's really hard on that supporting leg as well. So now we're going to bring that left foot into the mat. Imagine that's the trunk of your tree. Okay, and then we're going to take that right foot away. We're going to bring the knee up. Okay, knee up away from the center line. So we're not too far down. See if you can bring it up, point the toes. Fingertips facing down, crane pose, and pushing that left heel away. Up to the ceiling, arms to the ceiling, left leg to the ceiling, breathe. And then bringing yourself back up, rolling through, fingertips to the ground, point the toes, looking good, crane pose. It's really hard when you're doing balance and then movement as well, pushing that leg away. Arms up towards the ceiling, fingertips to the ceiling, toes to the ceiling, breathe. And then bringing yourself back up, point the toes down, fingertips to the ground, soften that right knee, and then we go backwards again. Up to the ceiling, fingertips to the ceiling, reach in. Last time, coming back up, toes to the ground, fingertips to the ground, and then bringing that foot down. Let's take some circles with those ankles. That's quite strong on those ankles and the supporting leg. Okay, then the other direction as well. Really good. Okay, let's come towards the top of your mat. There's our balances for today. Big toes, heels together. Okay, bring them, squeeze the knees in towards each other. That inwardly rotates the thighs to get really strong legs. Hands into prayer position. Thumbs to the breastbone, tuck the chin, look towards the fingertips. Now inhale, raise the arms overhead. Look at the thumbs. Again, drop your shoulders and come into that baby back bend. So we open through the chest. Inhale back to center, swan dive forwards, arms wide, either side of the feet. Tuck the chin, look to the knees. We're going to step into down face, 4-point kneeling. Right foot, left foot first. Okay, and then bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath those hips, about hip distance apart. Create that length again. Crown of the head away from the tailbone, shoulders away from the ears. We're going to do opposite arm to leg. Okay, so we're going to do right arm, left leg. Push that heel away. Push that heel away. We then bring hand under shoulder, knee and underneath the hip. Left arm, right leg away. Whoop. So create that length. Draw that inner navel in. And bring the hand under shoulder, knee and underneath the hip. Okay, we're going to take right arm, left leg away. Now we're going to go out on the diagonal. Take the right arm to the right, left leg out to the left. We then come back to center, hand under shoulder, knee and underneath the hip, left arm, right heel away. Okay, come forward slightly, left arm to the left, right leg out to the right. We then come back to center, hand under shoulder, knee in underneath the hip. Do this one more time each side, but creating that movement as well. Right arm, left leg, extend, and then take right arm to the right, left leg out to the left. Come back to center, hand under shoulder, knee in underneath the hip. Draw that inner navel in, left arm, right leg. We then come forward slightly, left arm to the left, right leg to the right. Oh, then come back to center, hand under shoulder, knee in underneath the hip. Let's take the feet to one side, knees to one side, and bring yourself down, okay, into seated. So seated posture. Take the fleshy part away from the sit bones, or we shuffle forward. Push those heels to the front of the room, draw those toes back. Sit up really, really tall. Big distance between shoulders and ears. So heels towards the front of the room, draw the toes back, draw that inner navel in. Inhale to create length through the spine. Now exhale, reach those arms overhead, reach up as far as we can. Draw that inner navel in. And as we exhale, fold forwards. So toes back towards the shins. Make sure we're not bending the knees. We're creating length through the legs. Reach down. We go to the knees, shins, ankles, toes, beyond the toes if that feels right for you. And we're looking towards the toes. So it's a seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Notice how that feels. So we get a little bit of length into the lower back. Draw the inner navel in, go to knees, shins, ankles, toes. Beyond the toes, but only if that feels right for you. Work with that breath. Looking at the toes. Okay, take a couple more releasing breaths. Inhale. And let go. Chest onto the thighs. Just yes, no nods with the head. Releasing tension through the head, the neck, looking at the toes. And then we're going to let go wherever we are, knees, shins, ankles, toes. Raise those arms up as far as up towards the ceiling as we can, looking good. And then bringing those arms down. We're going to keep the left leg extended. Give yourself a bit of a hug with that right leg. So right heel in towards the sit bone, knee up towards the ceiling, sit up really tall. Okay, we're going to take that right ankle across the left knee. Okay, so sitting up really tall, right ankle across the left knee. We're going to take that left arm up towards the ceiling, high as we can. Take the left hand, give yourself a big hug, that hug in towards the chest. Take that right hand onto the sacrum, the lower back, or the space behind you. Pull the crown towards the ceiling, crown of the head to the ceiling, and let's gently take the eye over shoulder. So we get that lovely stretch through your back. Really flexing that right foot as well. Heel to the front of the room, draw the toes back, look over your right shoulder. Really good stretch going through your whole of your back. Lovely stretch. And then we can come back to center, uncross that right leg, give them a little shake out. Same on the other side, right leg extended, give yourself a big hug, left knee in towards the chest. So a big hug, then we step that left foot over the right, knee up towards the ceiling, sitting up really tall. So really engaging with that right leg, toes back towards the shins. Let's reach that right arm up. Take the right hand, give yourself a big squeeze, hugging that left knee in, left hand onto the sacrum, the lower back or the space behind you, crown of the head to the ceiling, gently taking eye over shoulder. So you get a lovely stretch, hugging that left leg in, big stretch, okay, through the whole of your back. Breathe. So inhale and then exhale, looking over your shoulder, lovely stretch through the upper back, middle of the back, and through the lower back as well. And then come back to center. Let's uncross that leg, shaking those legs out. We're going into Baddha Konasana now, so our cobbler's pose, soles of the feet together. Bring those heels in towards the sit bones, or the sit bones in towards the heels. So inhale, create that length. So crown of the head up towards the ceiling, tailbone down towards the ground. Interlace the fingers around the toes. Inhale, create length through that spine. Now as we exhale, draw the elbows in, chin onto the chest, and we look towards the navel. Now try not to round in the back. It's as if you're squeezing the shoulder blades together and down the back of the body. So inhale, create that length through the spine, sit bones down into the ground. Exhale, elbows in, chin onto chest, we're looking towards the navel. And as we exhale, we press the soles of the feet together. So just see what's going on. As we press the feet together, the knees automatically go down towards the ground, and we're subtly opening out through these hips. Inhale, exhale, press the feet together, knees automatically go to the ground, elbows squeezed in towards each other. Really working through the soles of the feet, working through these insteps when we press the feet together, working through those hips as those hips go out to the sides. Long exhalation, and then bringing yourself back up. Take the hands to the outside of the legs, bring those knees back in. Let's shake out through these legs. We're going to shuffle forward on your mat. So come forward slightly. Soles of the feet onto the floor, knees up towards the ceiling, coming up really onto those uncomfortable bony bits. Take the hands underneath the thighs and just come into Anavasana. So the calves in line with the mat, shins in line with the ceiling. Draw those knees in. Okay, shoulders away. So we're not rounding in the back, sitting up really tall. Right arm away. Left arm away. Oh, okay, calves in line. Don't drop those knees down. Oh, and then let's bring the knees down. Let's come down with control now. Let's come into seat, into our laying down, our supta, supine position. So scoop the belly, make a C curve with the spine, excuse me, and start to roll ourselves down. Okay, working with that core, coming down slowly from the middle of the back, through your thoracic spine, shoulder blades, shoulders, bringing the head last. Okay, give yourself a big long stretch. So hook the thumbs, take the arms away, point the toes, hug the ears with the arms. Lovely big long stretch. So stretching out through the back of the arms, upper chest, lower ribs into the belly, front of the thighs, calves, ankles into the toes, point the toes. Inhale as we reach. Exhale, bringing the arms overhead. Let's gently bring those knees in towards the chest. Hands on top or underneath the knees, and gently rock side to side. So gently rocking. So imprinting the whole of the spine. So just giving yourself a gentle rock side to side. Okay, let's take some circles with the knees together. So knees into the chest, knees away. Knees into the chest, knees away. And then the opposite direction. So we're really massaging through the mid and your lower back. Okay, so it could be that if you're sitting down for a lot of your day, if you're working from home, okay, on your laptops or your computers, desktops. So it could be that you're sitting in different positions every day. So it's just that little bit of a massage mid-lower backs. Let's bring the soles of the feet onto the floor. Feet about hip distance apart, arms away from the body, palms up towards the ceiling. We're going into a monkey spine either way. Okay, so we next knees to the left, then to the right, then we're going into a nice relaxation. So feet about hip distance apart, arms a little way away from the body, palms facing to ceiling. Gently take the knees over to the right. And then we can take the gaze down the left arm. Just let go. So knees over to the right. This is quite strong on your back. So notice, listen to your back. Okay, breathing down that right side. Inhale. And then exhale, gently breathing down that left arm. And then we can come back to center with the head, back to center with those knees. Okay, so knees up towards the ceiling, there's arms away from the body, palms facing up towards the ceiling. Drop the knees down towards the left. And as we drop the knees to the left, we look down the right arm. Listen to your backs, okay? Honor your backs. If this is putting unnecessary stress onto your back, we come out of the posture by looking up to the ceiling and then bringing the knees to the ceiling slowly. Otherwise, let's take one more long breath, breathing down that right side. And then we can bring the head to center, bring the knees back up towards the ceiling. And getting ready now for our relaxation, everybody. So taking the legs to the outer side of the mat, Arms a little way away from the body, palms facing up towards the ceiling. If you've got little eye masks, okay, take a little eye mask over the eyes. Okay, if you've got blankets or cushions, pillows, just make yourself comfortable. Just for the next few minutes as we come into our relaxation. So legs to the outer sides of the mat, arms away from the body. Palms preferably facing up towards the ceiling, but don't let that create tension. Take the palms down. Become aware now of any thoughts that are coming into the mind. Simply acknowledge the thoughts and then let them go. And then we start to bring our attention to the physical body making contact with the ground. Start to become aware of the weight of the legs, the heels, the calves, the thighs, the knees, the ankles, soles of the feet, tops of the feet, and all those toes. And then we become aware of the hip joints and just release the hip joints. As we start to become aware of the belly. Exhale, gently say to yourself, I relax through my belly. Inhale now into the upper abdomen, the solar plexus, just below the ribs and towards the navel. And as you exhale, say to yourself, I relax through the upper abdomen. Bringing that breath now into the center of the chest. And as you exhale, gently say to yourself, I relax through the chest. We start to notice the breath now into the back of the throat. And just as you exhale, say mentally to yourself, I relax through my throat, my neck, collarbones. Start to breathe now into the shoulders, the shoulder blades, the upper arms. And as you exhale, say to yourself, I relax through my shoulders, upper arms. Bringing your next breath now into the lower arms and the hands. And as you exhale, say to yourself, I relax through the lower arms, forearms, the palms of the hands, backs of the hands, and the fingers. As we start to notice just the weight of the head now, the back of the head, the top of the head, the sides of the head. Just become aware. As we start to relax now, the forehead, the temples, the ears, the cheeks, the top of the nose, tip of the nose. Start to relax all the little muscles around the eyes and allow the eyes just to rest into pools of darkness. We then start to relax upper lip, lower lip, and the meeting point of the lips. Start to relax the chin, the jaw, the teeth, the tongue. Just let go. And allowing yourself this time in your day, this little bit of time just to stop, just to rest, and bring the focus back to yourself. It's important that we just spend a couple of minutes every day just to bring that focus to the breath. Coming into the body and notice how the body feels when it's receiving that breath. As we then start to bring the focus back to the class, back to your rooms. And just gently, no sudden movements, take the head side to side. Massaging through the neck, through the head. Releasing and just letting go. Bringing the head to stillness. We just take a long, deep breath down into the navel. Exhale, just a big sigh out. Just let go. Start to bring a little bit of life into the body now, perhaps even swallow, soften the palate in the mouth. Taking little wiggles and stretches with the fingers and with the toes. Gently bringing that little bit of life in. Taking some small circles, perhaps with the wrists and with the ankles. If that doesn't feel right, we stay with wiggling and stretching the fingers and toes. And then we're gently going to bring the knees in towards the chest. As we take some circles with the wrists and the ankles, knees in towards the chest. And then gently with the knees in towards the chest. Gently rock side to side. And then we need to think about how we're going to transition to seated. So with the eyes still closed, we could roll over onto the right-hand side, left-hand side, or simply cross over at the ankles and just bring ourselves up to seated. Keeping the eyes closed. Let's rub those hands together, create that warmth and that energy by palming the hands. And then once you've got those palms all nice and warm, we take the palms of the hands and gently cup them over the eyes. As we blink those eyes open now into the dark warm palms, so just fluttering the eyes open. And then we're going to spread the fingers wide, and with those eyes open, gently drop the hands down away from the face, let that light in towards the eyes. Let's bring hands into prayer position at the heart center, thumbs towards the heart center. Tuck the chin, look towards the fingertips. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of truth, of peace, of love and of light. When you are in that place in you, and I'm in that place in me, we are one. Namaste. So namaste.